of a tornado right here. Basically, this thing is over Legion Field, and this is going to be moving a little south of due east. This is our live pinpoint Doppler weather radar. And again, right in through here, this is the greatest potential for the rotation. Downtown Birmingham is right here. This thing is going to be coming perhaps right over Red Mountain. So I tell you what, with that being the case, since this is coming right over the core of downtown Birmingham, let's go back to our Skycam camera. This was just put in operation today. And let's take a look at our numbers. We've got a wind out of the east now at east-northeast at 13. I tell you what, Jason, if you can just kind of maybe give us a little jog around here, we'll take a look at this. Maybe jog to the left a little bit. We'll go back to the west, and you can see those clouds are really racing up there. We're listening to the amateur radio operators here in the office. All right, let's open up Jason's mic, please.
I just got a report by ham radio of some large trees down around the Birmingham area.
Yeah,
with this particular storm.
Came right on top of Birmingham. Yeah. Let's pan it a little bit more to the left if we can. We're just going to do a little panorama here of the sky over downtown Birmingham. This camera is on top of the Compass Bank building. Look at the winds there. West-northwest at 45. 45-mile-an-hour winds downtown Birmingham. Temperature 71 degrees and holding. It looks like very heavy rain is beginning to fall there in downtown Birmingham. We'll watch that wind very carefully. We'll get an update on that in just a second. We'll see if that can exceed 50. Again, for those of you just tuning in, this is our new Skycam camera that is on top of the Compass Bank building in downtown Birmingham. The wind holding out of the west-northwest at 45. The temperature is still holding at 71 degrees. The dew point right at 64. The core of the circulation is going to pass right over the site here in downtown Birmingham. The temperature starting to come down. The temperature down to 70.8. Dew point holding at 74. You know, sometimes you can't distinguish the difference between a power flash, a transformer explosion, and lightning. I think that was cloud-to-ground lightning back here on the western horizon. And again, these clouds are almost right on the top of the bank building. Let's go to our tower camera, the Birmingham Tower Link 3340 over, again, look at that wind of 44. This is our camera that is on the western extension of Red Mountain. They are in, it is just extremely windy, pouring rain there. We're looking down the slope of Red Mountain, and you can see some of the other towers on top of the mountain up there, but the rain is obviously pouring down very, very heavily. Let's go to the radar here if we can. This will be a quick shot of our pinpoint Doppler weather radar, and again, you can see a broad circulation coming right on top of Birmingham, and once again, there is a southward component of motion here, so we're going to have to raise a flag now for Homewood, Vestavia Hills. If you're up to the north, Mount Olive and Gardendale, the threat is lessening for you. The threat is increasing down here for Mountain Brook, Cahaba Heights, Homewood, Vestavia Hills, Liberty Park, and places like that. The strongest winds coming right over downtown Birmingham right now. There's gate-to-gate shear of 80 knots. Let's go back to our Skycam. Want to take a look at our wind up there. This is the camera in downtown Birmingham. Wind out of the west-northwest at 34. The temperature's down to 67.8 degrees. Dew point beginning to drop as well. The dew point at 61. And tell you what, Jason, I'll let you control the camera just a little bit. We'll see what we can. Let's swing it around to the south, kind of go back down over toward UAB. In fact, there is a preset for UAB. I just want to take a look at that real quick and see what the rain looks like down there. We will take a look at the UAB Medical Complex. Of course, off in the distance there, you can see the towers on Red Mountain. We got a wind out of the west at 35. The gust front's coming on through there. The temperature down to 67 degrees, coming down pretty rapidly. The highest wind I've seen so far is 44. This is Red Mountain right here. That's UAB Hospital, the big tower right there. And obviously, the rain is beginning to fall pretty heavily here in downtown Birmingham. We'll start to see rain getting in the rainfall bucket there pretty soon. Let's look at that southern sky preset we've got, Jason. I've got a southern sky. We're going to look back to the south. And again, as the rain gets heavier and heavier, it's going to be harder to see here. There's a wind out of the north now, north-northwest at 32. The temperature down to 64. So we've gone from the low 70s down to 64. This is a look at the southern sky. Torrential rain is falling down here, so it's going to be hard to see anything. But again, and I hate to say it's good news, but I have not seen wind higher than 44 miles an hour in downtown Birmingham. So let's go back to our radar. And the next time we go to Skycam, we're going to take a look at our Inverness shot. Again, we've got pretty good evidence of rotation right now. This coming right over Homewood and Vestavia Hills. So for those of you in Mountain Brook, Cahaba Heights, Homewood, Vestavia Hills, Liberty Park, around the Colonnade, we want you to be in a safe place, the 459 corridor. And we have a camera that is located right here at Inverness that's looking back. Want to get probably that view of the northern sky on our Inverness cameras. So if we can, let's go to the Skycam once again. Now we have switched to Inverness, and we're looking at the...
Just saw a power flash on the Inverness camera. Just saw a power flash toward Red Mountain on the Inverness camera. That would have been up toward the Mountain Brook Vestavia area.
Okay. This down below is traffic on US 280. This is the northern sky. We got a wind out of the west-southwest at 20 miles an hour. This is on top of the Wingate Inn behind Joe's Crab Shack, looking back to the north. And here we've still got 71 degrees. Now, once the outflow hits this camera site, we'll begin to see the numbers drop. We're still watching the wind. These are very high elevated spots. The Compass Bank camera in downtown Birmingham, the peak wind was about 44, and we're watching the Inverness camera looking back to the northern sky, and if there's anything there, we're going to see it on that camera. Now, of course, it's night. Understand, you know, we need lightning flashes to see wall clouds and tornadoes if we have something there, but Jason indicated he did see a power flash or two. That would be from transformers that are exploding due to trees perhaps falling on lines or something like that. Down below, you've got the summit off there in the distance. The summit would be right there. That's traffic on 280 here down below. And again, it looks like a shelf cloud coming in. I have not heard of any reports of funnel clouds in the last couple of minutes. Watching all of these reports coming in, back in through here. And Jason, you saw a power flash on this shot here a few minutes ago?
I did. If you notice right there in the middle of the screen at the top, there goes another one.
Right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's the same area. Just heard a report on ham radio of power outages up toward the Roebuck area as well. That's not the exact point that we're looking at for the possible tornado. We think the tornado would be well south of that, but considering how strong the inflow and then the gust front has been to this storm, power outage is likely to be fairly widely scattered across the Birmingham area, to say the least, if not widespread. Seeing quite a few power outages come in by ham radio. And again, this is a very serious situation. When we see those power flashes like that, there's something going on if it's nothing but a strong wind gust above 50 miles per hour.
Yeah, and you know, it doesn't matter if it's straight line wind or a tornado. You just need to be in a safe place. And when we're starting to see power flashes here on the camera, you want to be in a good, safe place. So again, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. This is a time where you don't need to be planning. You should have done that days or months ago. This is the time you take your plan and you go through that. And once again, we continue to see evidence of power flashes out here on the horizon. The temperature still holding at 71. The wind up here out of the south is 17. The gust front's going to be hitting this camera site pretty soon. Let's go back to the radar. And again, we will go back to some of the different camera views in just a moment. But you see the various shear markers in here. We've got evidence of strong straight line winds and maybe some type of tornadic circulation within here. And you can see, for example, around Mountain Brook, there's 90 knots of shear. This is Liberty Park. That's Interstate 459. The Colonnade sits here. The Summit sits right here. For anybody near Liberty Park, you need to be in a safe place. In Mountain Brook, you need to be in a safe place. Altadena down here by Briarwood, you need to be in a safe place. If I just call out the name of your neighborhood, someplace close to you, you need to be in a safe place. Down the 280 corridor, places like Brook Highland, Meadowbrook, Greystone, those are the kind of places where you need to be in a safe place until the storms pass. We have had a very long day today. We've got a rough night tonight with these rotating thunderstorms coming in. Again, this is our live pinpoint Doppler weather radar. Quite frankly, the rotational signature not as extreme, but it's still there. Whenever you've got multiple shear markers like that, that's the radar just shouting at you. We've got rotation here within the beam, and whether it's down or not, it's hard to say. That's why these cameras are such a big deal. Let's go back to our Inverness camera, the Skycam network, courtesy of Compass Bank. We're in the process of rolling out cameras all over the state. Again, this is at the Wingate Inn on US 280. And maybe, Jason, you can jog that thing a little left and right. We'll just kind of scan the horizon to the north a little bit. That's looking over toward Liberty Park. And again, down below, that's traffic on US 280. You see the cars moving down there. We don't want anybody driving. And I don't know how to voice that anymore. If you can hear my voice, we're on 104.7 WZCK. You need to pull off to some type of store or facility that's got a safe place. You can see the sheets of rain beginning to come in. And the one thing I noticed, the wind has calmed down for the moment, and I expect those winds to pick up in just a moment. Down below, that's the Home Depot across 280. Maybe we can pan down a little bit more, get a little bit more of the traffic down there. In fact, the rain is now hitting the camera. Yeah, let's pan back a little bit to the left if we can. This will show, again, the 280 corridor, and you can see the rain is there. There's your west wind, okay? We've got the gust front blowing through here now. Watch I'm sure the temperature is going to drop off pretty rapidly. And once again, we're looking right down 280. As the rain comes in, it's going to be hard to see much of anything. It'll be interesting to see the wind data. Will be interesting to see if we maintain the shot here and watch those temperature numbers drop down. Again, this is a live look coming from Inverness, looking right down 280, which runs right down through here. The summit would be right in through here. You're looking at Red Mountain right back in through here. It's tough to see a lot of things at night, but we can, through some power flashes from time to time or lightning, see what's going on down here. And certainly very heavy rain is falling, and I expect the temperature to drop off pretty quickly. But so far, Jason, let me get your mic open. You listening to the ham radio operators, I have not heard of any damage despite all these reports so far.
Right. It's mostly just tree and power line kind of damage. We've heard of no structural damage thus far on the ham radios or on our instant message conferences that we've been monitoring from the National Weather Service. We'll continue to monitor it, but it looks as if we have at least made it through most of the Birmingham metro area with either a very, very small tornado or with something of a straight line wind nature.
We need both mics up, Denise. Thank you. We've got a west wind of 38 now. I just wanted to point that out. And I'll tell you what, if you can go to our downtown camera, Jason, we've got reports of a widespread power outage downtown Birmingham. We're going to go back to the camera that is on the Compass Bank building. Let's take a look at maybe UAB once again. Go to the UAB preset. We're looking south now. The power looks pretty good there. This report coming from Cox Radio downtown, they say there's a widespread power failure. And Cox Radio is located over at the Civic Center. We're looking down at a UAB. You can see the lights on Red Mountain back over there. It looks like downtown came through this in pretty good shape. We're looking at some of the various buildings there. We'll kind of swing the camera around. Tell you what, go to the preset that says big buildings. We've got a shot of the financial buildings downtown. We'll take a look at those real quickly, then we'll go back to the radar. This is a live look at downtown Birmingham from the Compass Bank building, and looks like we do have power here at these the large buildings, the skyscrapers in downtown Birmingham. So perhaps the power, and there's the City Federal building you saw right there. This is out toward the Birmingham airport. So I think maybe the power outages are fairly limited downtown, and it looks like they came through unscathed. The peak wind here was 49. Now let's go back to the radar, our pinpoint Doppler weather radar, and once again we've got this circulation. The greatest chance of that right now would be awfully close to that Inverness camera, and that is of course Inverness. They're getting pelted by heavy rain. That circulation is coming up on the Greystone neighborhood, so if you
can, that'll come across northern Talladega County from Stimley to Lincoln, northern city of Talladega, and then over toward Munford. We might actually be able to catch that on our Mount Cheaha sky cam. I'll switch to that, and we will look toward the western sky and see if we can see the lightning. And I believe that that's exactly what we're seeing right there on the sky cam from Mount Cheaha. We can see the lightning in the distance off toward St. Clair and Talladega counties. So this is going to be a couple of big storms left to go, and we're going to stay here and, of course, watch them as we go through the rest of the morning hours. And again, these East Alabama storms don't appear to be quite as strong as the ones that we had over West Alabama, but keep in mind, severe thunderstorms can and do produce tornadoes with little or no advance warning, and we are under a tornado watch. So just take it seriously until it passes by. Then once the temperature drops and the wind shifts around to the northwest, everything's going to be okay, and the weather looks a whole lot better. So we get into Saturday night and Sunday. James?
Yeah, again, if you're just joining us, this is James Spann. This is a live look from Alabama's highest mountain, Mount Cheaha. And again, we're kind of watching the parameters down here. Temperature 65, wind out of the south-southwest at 27. This camera is on top of the restaurant different at Mount Cheaha, looking back off to the west. Dew point sitting at 62. The numbers look pretty familiar. We saw those high dew points in the Birmingham metro, then they dropped as we got the squall line to come through here. And let's go back to the radar quickly, and I'll kind of show you what's happening with that. Again, Mount Cheaha, just to give you an idea where it's located, is right there. That is the boot heel of Cleburne County, and we're kind of looking back off that way. Let's go back to the Cheaha cam, and this time let's look at the northern sky view. We got presets for all these things. We'll take a look at the northern sky, and this will probably show lightning that might be a little closer. With the northern sky view, we'll be looking at, you can see the Channel 7, the public television tower up there. All right, tell you what, let's go back to our Tuscaloosa cam. Let's go back to the other side of the state, and we'll kind of focus on the western side. We'll bounce around from city to city. This is Tuscaloosa. Now, remember, there technically is a tornado warning for Tuscaloosa County, but again, the tornado signature kind of passed away quite a while back. We do think there could be some strong straight-line winds over the